What's up, guys? Welcome back to Time Twister. It's the two-time Couch Talk champ, Salt of the Earth, Hollywood Wood Roberson, coming at you with the greatest decade of all time, the 1990s. This week, we bring you the most iconic moments in sports history, the best fashion statements that still live on to this day, and the best entertainment via shows, music, and hit movies of all time. So don't get it twisted. We will be right back after the break. Welcome to Broadcast from the Past, where we do a deep dive into the monumental moments in sports history, as well as the iconic athletes and most dominant teams. Starting off, I'd love to talk about the World Wrestling Federation, or also known as the WWF. After the golden era of sports entertainment, with the superstars such as Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Macho Man Randy Savage, so on and so forth, we have arrived to the Attitude Era. Wrestling took it up a notch and got way more edgy, while fighting for higher ratings than their rival WCW. The WWF added more heat and talent to their roster, so they brought in the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and the Dead Man The Undertaker. The Attitude Era was huge in the 90s and still to this day due to its wide range of talent on the screen and its infamous storytelling, such as Austin 316 in the beer truck, Mankind being thrown off of a cell by The Undertaker, and well, there'd be no Dwayne Johnson without the WWF creating The Rock. Next, I'd like to mention the most dominant teams throughout the 90s. You had football, which you had the 49ers, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, and unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys. In basketball, you had the greatest team of all time, the Chicago Bulls, having a stat roster with the likes of Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and the greatest of all time, Michael Eric Jordan. Sorry to you Brown fans out there. In baseball, you had stars like Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa, who put a killing on baseballs. You had pitchers like Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson, and you had all-around key players like Cal Ripken Jr. and Ken Griffey Jr. Without a doubt, the best team being my New York Yankees, who ran the MLB from 1991 all the way to 2000. I guess the Braves are pretty solid too, I guess. That's all for Broadcast from the Past, y'all. We'll jump right into fashion of the 90s in the next segment called Runway Talk after the break.
The cosmetology program at Nash Community College provides industry-based knowledge in a simulated salon environment. Students learn hands-on fundamentals along with scientific and artistic principles associated with the cosmetology industry. Program courses instruct students in all phases of professional imaging, including hair design, chemical processes, skincare, nail care, and multicultural practices. The program also delves into business principles, computer skills, and product knowledge. Degree graduates should qualify to sit for the State Board of Cosmetic Arts examination for licensure. Diploma and certificate options are also available. For more information about the cosmetology program or the salon services open to the public, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-443-4011.
Welcome to Runway Talk. In the 1990s, mainstream fashion was at its most casual point it had ever been. Super minimalistic and basic too. In the beginning of the decade, you could still see leftovers from the 1980s. Sportswear was still popular, just in a different way. With biker shorts and oversized jackets still being popular in men and women's wear, thrift stores also began popping up more with the rise of popularity of grunge styles. This grunge eventually led into the bohemian look that was popular in the later half of the decade, but before we get there, we have to look at the middle of the decade, and the sudden change introduced by none other than supermodels. The rise of the supermodel was quick. It likely started with Kate Moss and her very specific and unique look. There had been runway models before, but they were more like walking mannequins for the most part. The models with passion, personality, and individuality in their walks, and extra unique looks on and off the runway were called supermodels. With the super polished, beautiful people on runways, grunge became kinda cringe for a while. Clean, bright, and honestly iconic looks became the standard, and celebrities started rocking it like no other. But with simple stuff, there was always the opposite too. Remember the movie Clueless? The fashion in this Jane Austen movie adaptation, someone mixed minimalism with grunge and bright patterns all at once. Some icons of the decades include TLC, Destiny's Child, Gwyneth Paltrow, and of course the most popular supermodel of the decade, Naomi Campbell. With her iconic walk on the runway and her stunning beauty, she was the star of every single show. As for men's fashion, who can forget about how iconic Brad Pitt was? Sure, menswear was dominated by streetwear with baggy clothes and logomania galore, but Brad Pitt managed to combine the grunge streetwear with the sleek style inspired by the runway, and he kinda rocked it. Him along with Tupac were easily the biggest fashion inspirations for men at the time. That's all for Runway Talk, y'all, and give us a second and we'll be right back with further culture.
Ready to impact emergency care? Nash Community College's EMS program is your answer. Our intensive 288-hour course prepares future EMTs for high-pressure medical situations. From transportation to record keeping, we cover it all. Take your career to new heights with flexible evening classes or our immersive 8-week EMT Academy. Don't wait. Visit nashcc.edu or call 252-443-4011.
Welcome back. Did you miss me? Of course you did. And now you get to hear me talk all about entertainment and pop culture of the 90s in this section called For the Culture. First, let's talk about movies. Everything was just a little bit spooky in the 90s, with popular movies like The Craft, The Addams Family, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Hocus Pocus, and Edward Scissorhands dominating television screens. If we're talking about actual horror movies, 90s horror really kept the vibe of the 80s with lots of slashers. But the 90s had a lot more censorship, a lot of off-screen deaths were happening. The more PG-13 the movie was, the larger the crowd would be for the theater. The science fiction and horror genres blend had been popular for years, and we got some really notable movies as well, such as Event Horizon, Cube, The Relic, and Mimic. But the most iconic horror movies of the decade? Well, Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, with that being said, everyone knows I'm no horror movie guy. I still sleep with my comforter all the way up to my neck to protect me from vampires, but let's just bring up notable movies from this decade as well. You had Pulp Fiction, The Lion King, Shawshank Redemption, Titanic, and well, one of my favorite movies of all time, Friday. Now let's look at the music. You had a huge range of music dominating the charts, from Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You to Metallica's Enter Sandman. You had groups like TLC, Boyz II Men, Outkast, and Green Day. They're probably some of the most recognizable, but you also had rappers like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, and Jay-Z. They were total powerhouses of the decade as well. If any of y'all viewers out there listen to WNIA 89.1 FM, Big Bang Radio, you would know it was me if Motley Crue was being played. They had huge hits in the 80s and 90s, with one of their best songs from this decade being Primal Scream. Lastly, and for the culture, we're going to bring up something very weird. And it happened in the 90s. We cloned something, a sheep. Me personally, if I'm cloning anything, I'm cloning Jennifer Aniston. But that's just me. This sheep was named Dolly, a Finn Dorset sheep. This incredible process was performed by the Roslin Institute in an effort to learn how to produce genetically modified farm animals for livestock. That effort eventually turned into trying to figure out how to clone something. It took many tries, but Dolly was the first ever mammal to be cloned from an adult animal. I would get into the science of all that, but that's way too complicated, and I don't think anybody would really understand it. I know I wouldn't. So let's just save my breath on that one. That's it for the culture, y'all. Now let's head over to Couch Talk, a segment of our show where we ask contestants questions all about the decade we covered in the episode. So stay tuned. Welcome to Couch Talk. This is a segment of our show where we ask contestants and read song lyrics from the decade of choice. I know y'all see the shoes, y'all know the vibe. We got Jordans for the 90s. So shout out G-Money. If y'all don't know him, it's my little brother, so shout out Griffin. Contestants, are y'all ready? We've got Josh Nelms, Jacob Smith,
Back for revenge.
Reyes Tellez. So, coming up with the first song, the lyrics are, I am the push that makes you move, I am the push that makes you move, I am the push that makes you move.
Surfacing my Slipknot.
He's got it, y'all.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, man.
All right, number two.
Instantaneously.
Number two. If you want it, you're gonna bleed, but it's the price to pay. And you're a very sexy girl who's very hard to please. You can taste the bright lights, but you won't get it for free.
Welcome to the jungle, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I'm
Is this a 90s show?
Is Welcome to the Jungle in the 90s? So that was from the 80s, but
It's a good song.
yeah.
It's a song.
good
I'm
choice.
All right, y'all ready for number three?
Yeah.
Picture paragraphs unloaded, wise words being quoted, peek the weakness in the rap game and sowed it. Bow down, pray to God, hoping that he's listening. Stop looking at the teleprompter, Josh.
What's the other I'm looking
It doesn't have answers
Yeah.
for you, man.
Go for
I
it.
know it's Tupac,
It is Tupac.
but
Do we got to name the song?
all eyes on
Yep.
me.
No. Anyone else?
West Side.
Nope.
Only God can
What's
judge.
another?
Nope.
What's the Tupac song?
All Eyes on Me. Did yours
No.
California.
No.
That is Dr. Dre, my friend.
Hail Mary,
Is that it?
come with me.
You can say it all you want. I'm not gonna know it.
It's Hail Mary. It's Hail Mary.
Yeah, like,
Thinking, will I live another 24? I gotta go because I got me a drop top. And if I hit the switch, I can make them drop. The song ain't up there.
I know.
I know the song. You better know the song.
What era of the 90s is this?
90s.
Late, early?
Well, give us a hint.
Let's
Mid?
Mid 90s.
Mid 90s.
Is it Tupac again?
No.
Was,
Biggie?
No.
Is it like a soul singer or something?
No.
R&B? R&B?
Nope. Rap.
Rap?
Yep.
What rappers were big in the 90s? Eminem?
NWA?
A Tribe Called Quest.
NWA?
Not NWA.
Ice Cube.
Easy.
Today was a good day. There we
Ah!
You got it.
Ice Cube.
All right. So coming up with the questions. Question number 1. Who was the greatest professional wrestler? In my opinion, in my opinion of all time. A, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Already got it.
B, The Undertaker. C, Hulk Hogan, or D, Stone Cold.
Shawn Michaels.
Attaboy.
Yes, sir. HBK, Heartbreak Kid. Let's go. We gotta represent. Gotta represent.
All right, number 2. Who is considered the most famous supermodel of the 90s? A, Gigi Hadid. B, Naomi Campbell. C, Ducky Thought. D, Cara Delevingne.
That's not a real.
Naomi Campbell.
I don't even know if that's an answer.
What's the third one? Something about
It can't be C.
Ducky Thought.
It's not A or D.
Ducky.
It's gotta be the
Ducky.
made-up name.
Wait,
Naomi.
no.
You got it.
We'll use AI to generate a clip
Yeah,
where Josh says Naomi Campbell.
Yeah,
Put our buzzer back.
yeah.
In which year was the movie Titanic released in the US? I haven't even said the choices, guys. They're
I don't
just-
need it.
Oh, we don't need it.
1997.
They're right.
James Cameron. James
James
Cameron.
Cameron, Leonardo DiCaprio.
97.
Can we vouch for that? We can vouch for that.
Let's
so it
ask
came
Wikipedia.
It's nice.
Can someone search the answer on the phone real quick?
What year did Titanic come out? 97.
97. I was right.
December 9th. I got it right.
I was
19.
right.
I had the date.
I believe that Josh won. If I was
That's
wrong,
right.
sue me.
Squashed.
But listen.
Squashed.
At least I got the Slipknot one
You
right.
got the first one, and it was all the Josh.
He
shit
got the
after
Shawn
that.
Michaels one right. That's
keeping-
the
I
only
got
one.
the Shawn Michaels.
That's the only one that matters in my opinion.
I got
All right?
metal and WWE. All right, that's the best ones in there.
But I've got one more question. Who is the greatest basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
He won just off of that question, y'all.
LeBron James.
LeBron James wasn't even in the 90s. You could have said Kobe. You didn't say Kobe.
Kobe.
Could've
No.
said-
Say
Kobe's
Kobe.
not even top 10.
Say. Oh.
Not even top 10. Not even top 10.
Cancel it. His career's not coming up anywhere soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Couch Talk. Josh won, but he had a very hot take that I'm
Hottest take.
I'm 100% going to say a few words to him after the show. He won, so let's bring it back to you, Hollywood, now. That was a very hot take, and I voiced my opinions very boldly on that one. But anywho, that was all for our show. I appreciate you all for tuning into the show. We will see you all next time on our blooper show. Goodbye.